Hello students, welcome back to my channel again. As you can see that we had already discussed the two steps of pre-fertilization, that is microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. That means the two gametes are ready, that is gametophyte, male gametophyte, as you know, that microspore, and the female gametophyte, as you know, that the ovule, inside that the two gametes are ready. Now we have to proceed to fertilization. So before that, as you know, there is a connecting link, that is the pollination. You know the definition of pollination, well advanced in junior classes. Let us recall that. So let us discuss what is pollination. The transfer of pollen grain where from it will be transferred, from anther or stamen to the stigma of a pistil is called pollination. Is called pollination. It's very easy then. If I draw the figure, so this is the anther of the stamen, and suppose these are the pollens, and you know that the pollens remain inside the, already we had discussed the structure and all of this inside the pollen sac. So, and here I am drawing the stigma, style and ovary. So the transfer of the pollen grain to the stigma. Okay. So here this is called pollination. And now this pollination occurs when the pollen grains are transferred. Okay. So at which stage, as we know that the pollen grain it is a male gametophyte. The structure we had discussed already. So if I draw a pollen grain, you can recall that there are two cells. There were two cells like this. One is the generative cell, another is the vegetative cell. So this two cell stage, this is called two cell stage, as this is the vegetative cell and this is the generative cell. So this is the condition of two cell stage. Either at this two cell stage the pollination occur, and if the generative cell gives rise to the two male gametes female gametes, okay, then it will become three cell stage. This will make what? Three cell stage. So either two cell stage or three cell stage, the pollination occur, maximum two cell stage. Okay. So this is one fact I made clear. Now we will go to the types of pollination. Clear? So there we will discuss, it is very important if we go for types. First of all, let us know what are the types. One is autogamy. Okay. Number two is geitonogamy. Another is xenogamy. Okay. So autogamy, as from the name, let us discuss this one. Automatically, whatever is happening, it is called autogamy. Here you know that the pollen grains are transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower of the same plant. Okay. So here it can be divided into two types according to the flower. Okay. And the flower. One is the chasmogamous. Another is the cleistogamous. Okay. Cleistogamy or cleistogamous flower. Okay. Now, as the pollination is okay. As the pollination is occurring in the same flower of the same plant, so it needs some factors. So what are the conditions for autogamy? When the autogamy can occur? Okay. So what will be the condition? First condition what? Bisexual flower. Another, the anther and stigma should mature at the same time. Okay. So there should be a synchrony of maturation of anther and stigma. If anther and stigma will mature at different time, then what will happen? The stigma or the anther will not dehisce to release pollen grain, or the stigma is not enough mature to receive the pollen grain. So there should be synchrony to release the pollen grain and the reception of the pollen grain. Okay. Another is what? The anther and stigma should be close to each other. Anther and stigma should be close to each other. These are the condition. If you are asked in the question, you have to write in this way. Now, there is the important fact on chasmogamous and cleistogamous flower. Chasmogamous flower are what flower? They remain open, as we generally see. Open anther, open stigma. Okay, so the pollen grains can be transferred to the stigma or cannot be. They need some agent also. But what about the cleistogamous flower? Let us discuss this. Cleistogamous flower. The common condition, if it say cleistogamous, that is closed flower. Closed flower. That means the flower is not opening. Okay. So if I show you just a conception, suppose this is the flower. So here the anther, okay, and this is the stigma style ovary. Okay, so they are remaining inside the flower, closed. The flower is not opening. So there must be autogamy. There must be self-pollination. Autogamy is must in this flower. Okay, so this is the condition that here the question sometimes come that why cleistogamous flower are invariably autogamous. Invariably autogamous. So why? Because the flower is closed, so it has to be autogamous. So it is invariably autogamous. And what are the advantages? If I say of these advantages, two advantages. One, there must be pollination. So the seed must form assured seed formation. They have not to wait for a chance. Another advantage, what? No need of pollinators. No need of pollinators. So students, can you say what are the disadvantage of this? Disadvantage, if I say, this will be there is no mixing of character. There is no mixing of different character. Means, what does it mean? Different characters. That means there is no mixing of different characters. So, no variation. No variation. And no evolution. So, no evolution. Means what? If there is self-pollination, same characters of the same flower, of the same species is again and again getting transferred. But another flower, if it would have come from another flower, there should be a mixing. So this is one disadvantage. Clear? Otherwise, there are two advantages. So this is all about autogamous. This part is important. Next, we are going to the geitonogamy. Geitonogamy. Here, what happens? The pollination occurs in the same plant but from the different flower. So, what are the key words you have to memorize here? Remember, key words. Same plant. Different flower. Okay. So, we can say this is physically it is what? Cross pollination, because if I draw a plant, suppose this is a plant, I always draw freehand so that you can also draw like you can also draw very freely here. Have not to worry for the diagram always. So suppose there is the flower, one flower. Okay. And suppose there is another flower like this only. Okay. So the pollination will occur from this flower to this flower. So this is number one flower, this is number two. Two different flower, same plant. This is. So we say in case of gaetenogamy that it is very important functionally. This question also come functionally cross pollination. It is following functionally cross pollination. Genetically what? Similar. Functionally it is showing cross pollination. It is cross pollination. It needs agent also. Cross pollination. But genetically similar. Why genetically similar? Because same flower. Why? Because of same plant. Because of same plant of the same species, it is genetically similar. Same plant. It's not coming from another plant. Okay. So gaetenogamy is functionally cross pollination, following cross pollination, but genetically it is similar. Clear? Next, we are going to xenogamy. Okay. Here, what are the keywords you have to remember? See, different plant, different flower. So, it is a difference between gaetenogamy and xenogamy. But always remember, same species. Species should be same. So what will happen? Like this, if I will show you. If I show you, it will come like this. Suppose this is a plant. Okay. And these are the branches and there is another plant of same species. Okay. So the pollination, it is plant 1, plant 2. And the pollination is occurring from the flower of another plant to the flower of next plant. So here the pollination occurring. So what is happening here? What we can say? That functionally following cross pollination and producing genetically dissimilar flower, genetically dissimilar, genetically variant plant. Okay, because there is a mixing of genes of two different flowers of two different plant of the same species. So this is xenogamy. So it advantage what? Advantage. What is advantage? That is the variation, and which always leads to evolution. Okay, students, clear? So in this way we can conclude today that we understood the different types of pollination: orthogamy, geitonogamy, xenogamy. The questions which comes generally like this: the types of pollination. Okay, then why orthogamous, cleistogamous flowers are uh, invariably they are producing invariably orthogamous. Why the clay? So the questions, let me give some questions, idea of the questions. Generally they come first: why are the cleistogamous flowers invariably orthogamous? In this is a very important question. It carries 2 marks. Number 2, which type of pollination gives rise to variation? Gives rise to variation, and why? Okay, and differences between geitonogamy and xenogamy. Okay, you cannot see this, so let me make it properly, write it properly. So differences between xenogamy and geitonogamy. This is this type of question, and MCQ also comes from here. So if you read this from NCERT and see this video, I think it will be very easy for you to attend this type of question. Okay, so go through the video and see these questions. Any query, you please tell me, and next day again I will come with fertilization stage. Okay, Before that, we will discuss a different pollinating agents, which is very, very important because from in competitive exam, NEET exam also question comes through diagram. This year also it came, and in both MCQ also. Clear? So thank you, students. See you next day. Stay well.